What is happening, investors? It is your boy Jack. I am not a financial advisor, and today I want to speak about what happened with stocks yesterday, okay? Why was growth, EV, pretty much everything up absolutely massively, and how it was such a stark contrast to simply one day before, and just how much volatility there is in this market here today. Today, we're going to be taking a look at Virgin Galactic, which was up about 32%. We're going to be looking at Corsair Gaming, which is up nearly 8% in the after hours because it's to join the S&P Small Cap 600. We're going to take a look at ChargePoint, up 14%, up over 25%, I believe, since I bought last and made a video about it 3 weeks ago, okay? Why Neo stock was up off of some relatively small news, and why all eyes are still on the Fed meeting in March, but why that also could genuinely be a good thing for us investors. So I think it's fair to say there's been a whole lot of doom and gloom in the markets as of lately, my friends. It is absolutely everywhere. And here you'll see, just 2 days ago, I put this message into my private Discord group. I know I haven't been speaking about that on YouTube here much, but if you want to join that private group, I'll leave the link down in the comment section and in the description, okay? But I put out this message, and we're just going to go through it quickly because it sets us up nicely for today. Really quickly though, guys, could I ask you to hit that juicy like button, drop me a comment down below, and subscribe if you are indeed new around here, and let's get into it. And the whole point of this video is to show you guys just how volatile the markets are right now, how, you know, one day doesn't really matter, and why DCA is genuinely king. So I put out this message saying a few things I want to speak about before the markets open. First one being, there will always be something to be afraid of in any market. There will always be an upcoming piece of news that could cause positive or negative moves on any company's stock price, any commodity, or anything that is traded in general. I don't think anybody's going to argue this point, okay? Look at how much fear there has been in the markets over the past few months. Look at how much fear there was with the Ukraine-Russia situation. Look at how much fear there is now towards the Fed meeting in the middle of March. There is fear everywhere you look. There is fear mongering in the media, politicians, etc. It's everywhere. There's inflation fears, interest rate uncertainties, tension between world leaders to the extent we are speaking about a potential World War III, supply chain issues in many industries, uncertainty surrounding each and every Fed meeting, emergency and unexpected meetings more often than usual. Goldman Sachs cut their S&P 500 forecast just 2 days ago. You guys get the picture. There's a lot to be afraid of, especially if you're looking for things to be afraid of, especially if you're looking for a reason to sit on the sidelines in the markets right now. It's very easy to get lost in the doom and gloom. At the end of the day, historically, if you invest in solid companies over a considerable period of time, you make money. It really is that easy. Now, you can't invest in everything. You can't just bag hold forever. You can't invest in bad companies and expect to make money. You know, I've invested in bad companies and I've lost money. There's a time and place to admit that. There's a time and place to sell your bad companies, but you shouldn't sell your good ones just because they're doing poorly, just because there is a lot of fear in the market. That is the primary message I am trying to convey here, okay? You should not get caught up in the now. Go look back at every historical event the S&P 500 has been through and look at its returns. I mean, it's absolutely staggering. Look back at everything Warren Buffett lived through and look at his returns. Again, staggering. I don't think Warren Buffett is afraid of the Fed meeting that's to come in March because he's lived through many Fed meetings and he's lived through many things worse and much scarier than a Fed meeting. We're not in an anomaly. This isn't the scariest period of time there has ever been by any means, and the markets have always, and I put in capital saying always, made new highs. So remember that. Invest into quality companies and DCA over time. Simply put, you know. And if you're not able for that, if you don't want to do the research, something I've been saying on the channel more and more recently lately is like, invest in indexes. I mean, just do that. If you don't want to manage your own portfolios, maybe you've tried it over the last 2 years and you realize it's not for you. That's okay. You don't have to. You're going to have to pay someone a percentage of what you make and a flat fee, but they will manage a portfolio for you. Or you can just go invest in it by yourself on an app in an S&P, in NASDAQ, Dow. Separate it out a little bit. Do what you want to do. If you don't have that risk tolerance and don't want to keep up to date with the companies, and then you don't have to worry about how the doom and gloom is affecting your stocks. I've also been making a point to stress that valuations are not particularly bad in many small and mid caps right now. We've been saying this for a long time. Big indexes don't paint a true picture. Stocks may well come down a further 10 to 15%, all going poorly. And what I mean is the S&P 500, the NASDAQ, etc. But considering where valuations are already getting to, would that be a bad thing for the long term? No. S&P 400 mid-cap forward PE is at 15.1. S&P 600 small cap is at 14. The large cap's all the way up at 20.2. Now, this is just one metric. This is just a forward PE, but you get the picture. I'll show you what that looks like historically. Right here, forward PE ratios for the S&P indexes. And you can see that for the small caps, the forward PE is relatively low, historically comparing, like genuinely low. The mid cap, yeah, lower than average as well. It's only really the large caps that are considerably higher than an average period of time. And that's what it really comes down to. So that whole message was speaking about the doom and gloom and why you can't let every single little thing be a reason not to invest or a reason, to hold absolutely all of your cash. Because ultimately, if you do that forever, you sit in the sidelines, and more often than not, you're not going to get lucky and you're not going to be able to buy the absolute bottoms. Maybe you will every now and again. Maybe you will this time. But if you're investing for the next 30, 40, 50 years, you're going to get it wrong more often than not. Simply put. Maybe again, you won't, but the majority of people will. That brings me on to yesterday, okay? Let's just look at this one, for example. ChargePoint, Workhorse Group, and QuantumScape pace big day for electric vehicle stocks. Why? Did they come out with some huge news? Is there some crazy fundamental changes? Did the businesses get put into a much better position? No. The electric vehicle stock showed strong gains in midday trading on Tuesday after a relaxation of tension around the Russia-Ukraine conflict has sent the broad stock market higher and some investors back into high growth story stocks, okay? Nothing changed except for this. One day there was huge fear because we were on the brink of a literal war, and now that's not happening. Putin essentially comes out and says, nah, it was just a flex. This one's ridiculous, okay? Virgin Galactic rallies after announcing a spaceflight ticket window opens on February 16th. It rallied to the tune of nearly 32%, okay? Was this a surprise? I mean, did people think that Virgin Galactic was never going to sell tickets? No, we all knew for a fact this day was coming. We didn't know when, but this is something that has been factored into the price since it's been a publicly traded company. This isn't a new piece of news. They didn't even move this much on FAA approval. Well, they did, but you get the picture. I'm exaggerating. 32% move. Now, I don't think Virgin Galactic should be as low as it is in the first place. It's one that I actually have been looking to potentially add to. I know a lot of people might call me crazy, but this 32% move came based off of a really positive headline, really positive news, but a really positive headline and a really positive piece of news that every investor should have already been aware of, okay? We look at Corsair Game, and again, shares up 8% in the after hours. I think they're still nearly up that much, okay? Yeah, 8.5% as of recording. Just for joining the S&P small cap 600, I mean, this is Corsair, guys. They should be up for different reasons. They should be up because the fundamentals make sense. Now, I'm definitely not complaining. This is one I've been dollar cost averaging into for the longest time now, with one of my highest conviction long-term plays, in all honesty. I don't understand at all how it is still down here, but we speak about NIO that had an 8.4% day. Why? Shares of Chinese electric vehicle maker NIO were moving higher on Tuesday after the company confirmed that it will unveil a new SUV in April. That doesn't warrant an 8.5% move. Now, you have to keep in mind all of these stocks moved up in part because of the whole Russia-Ukraine situation. This news didn't do anything for NIO. Look, some of the other EV makers actually moved up more with literally zero news. But you see what I'm trying to say, my friends. When the fear is at its peak, obviously stocks go lower and lower and lower because people aren't buying the stocks and people are selling their stocks. But a lot of the time, it's the same people who are holding their cash and the same people who sell who then panic to get back into the markets. That's why, look at SPCE, for example. A lot of people probably sold that in the 10s, 11, 12s, saw it start to go back up and threw their money right back in there, okay? And if SPCE gets another day like that, if Virgin Galactic gets another day like that, I wouldn't be surprised if we see another move like that because retail starts to panic. I think right now it's just so important to be able to stick to your personal convictions. It's so important to remember that you're investing for decades, not the next 3 weeks. You're not investing just until this Fed meeting that's coming up, okay? It is so important to do that. Huge catalyst. If the Fed meeting goes better than expected, okay? People are already pricing in worst case scenario. People are pricing in horrific news. That's already priced in now because that's what people are expecting. If there is any sort of a surprise, any sort of a beat, which we don't think there is, essentially been confirmed that there won't be, but if there is, or if we even get some positive glimpse not related to rate hikes, that will be a huge catalyst for the markets. And again, historically, there is a lot of value out there when we even just look at forward PEs. Now again, Don't take my word for it. Go out there, do your research, look into these individual companies. Look into companies like Corsair. Look into your Palantirs, a huge YouTube stock, one again that I also love. But just look into a lot of these big companies, and the valuations actually do make sense now. Like when I recently bought ChargePoint, and now we're already up again from that recent buy of, I don't know, 3 weeks ago. I bought it around here, right around 12.50ish, I think I bought. But yeah, 20% up in a few weeks. I mean, easy money, baby, you know what I mean? And I will probably buy more again. That was the first time I bought them since all the way back here, even before here. I bought my shares like literally right here. Can they ever make it back up to these prices? Yes, of course they can if they execute, baby. But anyway, my friends, that was a quick video on just don't let the fear mongering affect you too much. I'm going to be making more videos on individual companies. There's a lot I want to speak about, particularly about Corsair, about Virgin Galactic, about ChargePoint a little bit. And I also want to speak about Lucid and their upcoming earnings, but I wanted to make this general video for you guys today. If you watched this video all the way till the end, you, my friend, are a true legend, and I really do appreciate you being here from the bottom of my heart. Your support really does mean the world to me. If you did enjoy, could I please ask you to hit that juicy like button, drop me a comment down below, subscribe if you're new around here, and remember, if you would like some free stocks on Moomoo, yes, completely free stocks, sign up using my link in the pinned comment down below or in the description down below. You can get 5 free stocks worth up to $3,500 each, and it is a genuinely excellent brokerage. Anyway, guys, I'm going to see you all for another video very soon. Hope you have a beautiful, blessed day. Peace.